A month ago, McMahon announced he won't be stripping Angle of the middleweight title while he contends for the heavyweight title, and instead will create a Money in the Bank match between Rollins and another competitor, of which we will find out the identity of tonight. So Cody Rhodes and Austin Theory go at it, two men from Georgia. Theory has his own issues with Rhodes, thinks he's been handed everything. Theory believes he's the better man, but Theory remembers Cody being celebrated in his area like a celebrity before even achieving anything because of his dad. Rhodes takes all of this fairly stoically and goes to work, big brothering Austin Theory at parts in the match, but Theory has plenty of ability himself to offer and gives Cody a really tough match. The fans certainly on the side of Cody Rhodes as he starts to whip out a few old school moves like the Bionic Elbow, a dusty classic. Cody Rhodes hits Din's Fire, a vertebraker. Theory pops up, comes straight back at Rhodes, responds to his power slam with one of his own, and then hits a crossroads out of nowhere. Austin Theory taking it to Rhodes and rubbing salt in the wound, showing his technique and being able to do Cody's moves, but not better than Cody can himself, only a 2 count. Cody dodges a missile dropkick and was going for the Cody cutter, but again Austin Theory is quick to recover and turns that into a fireman's carry face breaker, the ATL. Cody with a twisting suplex and then wants to line up the Cody cutter once again. This time he hits it. He isn't finished there though. Crossroads to come. Crossroads lands and Cody picks up the win over Austin Theory to advance his chances of being that man in the Money in the Bank match. The only man in the quartet of middleweight starlets that's from outside of Georgia, hailing from Framingham, Massachusetts, a city between Boston and Worcester, the former of which the city Carmelo Hayes began his career in at the age of 16. Breaker here is returning from the brutal attack Rollins subjected him to, those kendo stick shots. Rollins, by the way, got off from all of that with nothing more than a fine, not even a suspension. Bron in this match wants to show off his athleticism against the spectacular Hayes, while Hayes has come into this match in more of a fighting mood. And Hayes is no one-trick pony. He won the Pride of New England tournament for tomorrow at the age of 19. He's filled out a lot since his semi-professional years. But there's still a great physical disadvantage to Breaker, though most in the middleweight division share the same issue. There's a double underhook powerbomb that doesn't quite get the job done for Breaker, but another, this time cleaner, with a much stronger pin, does put Breaker back in a strong position to take the spot at Summerslam. And at this point I think most suspect that it'll be Breaker and Cody Rhodes to fight to take the place in that Money in the Bank match. The number one contender match to deem the number one contender. These two did go on to fight the next week in a tag match, Rhodes and Hayes teaming up against LA Knight and Bron Breaker, Rhodes and Hayes getting the victory there, but more notably is this match, Kurt Angle versus the British Bulldog. This is Kurt Angle's heavyweight return, and his return to SmackDown, where he offered a challenge to any of the heavyweights on the SmackDown roster. Now this occurring perhaps because on Raw he would technically have to join the heavyweight division in order to face a heavyweight, and things are a little more lenient on SmackDown, but also because it gives the SmackDown fans a chance to see one half of the SummerSlam main event in action prior to the event. Angle is determined to become the greatest of all time by winning the heavyweight title. He would be the first man to have won the world title and the heavyweight title, the first man to hold 2 titles in 2 weight classes at all, let alone simultaneously. And this is of course on top of all the other accomplishments he's had as a world-class athlete, which he's covered himself ad nauseum. Bulldog on the other end is on a bit of a slide. He's aged out of his best years, but he's still a popular member of the roster. And in fairness to him, he gives Angle a really tough match. And in fact started with much of the momentum. Angle wrestles his way back into things though. Angle doesn't look like a middleweight in there. He's throwing around this large heavyweight with seemingly much ease. An Angle slam lands, but Bulldog kicks out, and not just that, nips up, takes Angle by surprise. Rolling back the years is Bulldog, but the power slam doesn't get the job done. It was one of two power slams in this match. Kurt Angle really had to pull out the stops, while Bulldog happy to taunt right back in Angle's direction. There's the second power slam off the turnbuckle. Angle really shows, if not its class, his ability in turning things around. He teased an ankle lock only to turn it into a unique suplex, and the suplexes kept flying from there. The handles, the leverage that Angle's able to get to make these suplexes pop is of another class. And then he takes Bulldog for a trip around the ring. Ringside turnbuckles, wears Bulldog out and fells him from the top turnbuckle with another Olympic slam, this time to take victory. Not by ankle lock. He did tease it at one point, but perhaps he was looking to use this match as a warm-up and not work on skills already polished. This may have been Bulldog's final chance of rejoining the world title picture, so he has things to think about. But for Angle, this was an impressive return to heavyweight, a fantastic match, and he would go on to additionally face the enormous Omos before SummerSlam, who he made quicker work of, this time with an ankle lock. But to our main event. Much has been made of this young rivalry, from high school to college and now into the pros. These two have created for themselves a genuinely big match on Raw to determine who will face Rollins in the Money in the Bank match at SummerSlam. The Money in the Bank match was explained on the previous episode, but for those in doubt, it'll be a singles match. The winner has the opportunity at cashing in, so to speak, on the champion for a match at any reasonable time approved by management. So the Money in the Bank contract is as good an opportunity as any to claim a title in the WWE. Cody overshoots on a plancha and hurts his arm. Bron starts seeing Cody's moves coming and making him pay for it with devastating suplexes. 3 in a row on this occasion. It turns into the match that many may have expected. It's Bron's power versus Cody's technique. And Bron may be taking that too far and landing a powerbomb only to continue trying to deal damage to Rhodes rather than go for the pin. It turns into a vertebreaker for Cody Rhodes. And these two trading big moves. Cody Rhodes getting confident. A cartwheel as Bron exits the ring, only to be dived upon. And it may be Cody now getting carried away, jumping all over the ring. Bron with a comeback, and Cody has to quickly figure out a way to get back on top of this match, and he does with the crossroads out of nowhere, and that has stunned Bron Breakker enough to keep him down for a 3 count. This is the biggest win of Cody Rhodes' career so far, and it's made all the more special realizing he's almost destined for great things. So it will be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the Money in the Bank contract. That's coming up on the next episode. Thanks for watching this one, and until then, have a good one.